Hey everybody, Cinephile Mike here, and we are in Season 4 of Award Season Reviews. We're counting down to the 98th Academy Awards with 98 reviews in 98 days. Quick reminder before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single day of these award season reviews. We are in our 5th week, the rest of the Golden Globes, mostly. I haven't seen every film nominated yet. I'm working on it. I think I've only got a couple left. But this week I'm going to make sure I hit 7 that are in the mix, all leading up to the Globes on January 11th. Today, the follow-up to one of the teams that had the second most Oscar nods last year, I am talking today about The Testament of Anne Lee. Written by the Oscar-nominated pair from The Brutalist of Mona Fastvold and Brady Corbet, this film was directed by Fastvold. Before opening in theaters over the recent holiday, the film premiered at the Venice Film Festival in September of last year. The Testament of Anne Lee spans continents and decades to follow the remarkable life of Anne Lee, played fearlessly by Amanda Seyfried, a visionary spiritual leader who rises to found the religious movement that would become known as the Shakers. Born and raised in 18th century England, Anne grows up with her sole confidant, her brother William, played in adulthood by Lewis Pullman. Following the expected path, she marries Abraham, played by Christopher Abbott, and begins the conventional life. However, Anne experiences early tragedy and hardship, including the painful loss of 4 children in infancy. Now, these events, combined with her deep conviction and personal spiritual journey, set her on a path that will forever change her life and the lives of those around her. Now, as Anne encounters new religious sects and individuals who shape her evolving beliefs, including Jane and James Wardley, played by Stacey Martin and Scott Handy, she realizes she can forge a different path. Turning away from a life that involves explicit sexual acts, believing that no good comes from physical relations between men and women, she advances her spiritual vision. Through church meetings, prison experiences, and the guidance of her brother William, the Wardleys, Pastor Reuben Wright, played by Tim Blake Nelson, and Mary Partington, played by Thomasin McKenzie, she builds a following that embraces her belief that divine truth transcends conventional structures. The group eventually travels to America, believing it is the next step to spread their faith, though the journey is met with some skepticism and resistance. In America, as Anne and her followers establish new homes and create spaces to practice their beliefs, they face both external opposition and internal strain. Relationships, loyalty, and ideological challenges continually test their resolve, pushing Anne and her community to protect their vision while forging a future on their own terms. The film follows the journey with attention to both personal and collective struggles, offering a sweeping portrait of faith, conviction, and perseverance. I'm going to say this. Amanda Seyfried, she gives a career-best performance as Anne Lee, fully inhabiting this character with a level of emotional commitment that is unmatched. From her vocal delivery to her physicality, every movement and gesture conveys Anne's devotion, her pain, and her unshakable conviction. Thomasin McKenzie, who narrates the story while also playing the attentive Mary Partington, provides a quiet but crucial presence, her voice guiding us through events and emotions that often transcend what we are physically seeing on the screen, offering almost a second layer to the narrative. Lewis Pullman and Christopher Abbott bring depth to their portrayals of the men surrounding Anne, each embodying opposing approaches to the Shaker faith. Abbott channels the angsty, conflicted extremes, while Pullman balances him with heartfelt sincerity, creating a fascinating tension that reflects the complexity of the religious world that Lee inhabits. Visually, The Testament of Anne Lee, it's stunning. Cinematographer William Rexer's work leans heavily on natural lighting and candlelight, creating an atmosphere that evokes the painterly compositions of the old masters like Caravaggio. There's a sense that every frame is very carefully constructed, giving the period and its religious practices an authenticity that's rarely achieved in modern cinema. Costume designer Mulgarzata Karpiak and production designer Sam Bader further reinforce this authenticity with clothing and spaces that feel lived in yet sparse, perfectly echoing the Shaker's belief of simplicity and devotion. The aesthetic choices really make the world of the film tangible, immersing the viewers in both the physical and spiritual dimensions of Anne's life. The musical and choreographic elements elevate the film into something approaching almost a spiritual experience. Daniel Blumberg's adaptations of historical Shaker hymns are haunting and reverent. Their use so integrated. One wonders if this film should be considered, when you look at genre, is it a biopic or a musical biopic? Choreographer Celia Rolson Hall's work really transforms the prayer and religious ritual into movement, showing the body as an extension of the faith. These sequences, coupled with the performances and the visual design, really make The Testament of Anne Lee more than a narrative film. It becomes an experiential journey. While the film takes big swings in representing Shaker practices, for the most part, it lands with conviction, presenting a rare, cinematic immersion into a faith and culture that is at once historical, ritualistic, and deeply human. Now, let's talk about box office and awards. This film's only been out for about 2 weeks, and in limited release with no international release yet, it currently sits with a domestic and worldwide take of $265,781. Critically, the film, as of this recording and posting, sits at an 89% on the tomato meter from 111 critical reviews, and less love on the popcorn meter, with over 50 audience reviews landing it only at a 62%. But still very early. Award season-wise, Seyfried is nominated for Best Performance in a Musical or Comedy at the Globes and at the recent Critics' Choice Awards. She was a Best Actress nominee, alongside Daniel Blumberg, who was nominated at the Critics' Choice for Best Song for Clothed in the Sun. The film was a nominee for Best Film at the Venice Film Festival, where it premiered. It had 2 Gotham Award nominations, Lead Performance for Seyfried and Best Feature. And in addition to the Golden Globe it's currently in the running for, it also is nominated for Best Actress in a Comedy or Musical, Seyfried at the Astra Awards. And it is nominated for Best Editing for Sofia Subercaseaux at the Independent Spirit Awards. And all of this is in addition to some other critic circles and festival recognition. As for its Oscar chances, the best chance I believe this film has right now, Seyfried could definitely be in the Best Actress conversation. She has some awards Academy history. I would have thought Blumberg also. He's coming off his win from The Brutalist last year. But if you look at the short lists for Best Song and Best Score, he is not on there, so that is not going to be for him. Now, where do I land on this film? Upon reflection, The Testament of Anne Lee is a well-made, powerful 4-star film. Seyfried is a 5, however, and the film is worth seeing just for her. As of this posting, the film is playing in select theaters domestically in the States now, and has a wide release expansion coming on January 23rd. All right, thank you all for joining me for episode 31 of Awards Season Review Season 4. We're going to be doing this again every day. We have 67 more days to go, so stay with me. Make sure you like the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, drop your thoughts in the comments. You can follow me everywhere on social platforms, on Letterboxd, and of course, head over to my website, cinephilemike.com, for even more movie goodies. All right, I'll see everyone tomorrow for the next review, but until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.